I usually export these videos out in two different ways when I'm getting them back to the editor. One way is the custom function here, which gives you all the options, but when I'm doing that, I do the single clip, so it only exports out one full clip of media where everything's color corrected and color graded. The editor will take that one clip, lay it over top of his sequence, and basically export that out. The other way of doing it is the Premiere XML preset, and what that does is it exports out basically the reciprocal of what we did to get all the clips into Resolve. It exports out an XML file and individual clips that each have the color grading on them. So I'll start with custom. You get all these options, and it's a little overwhelming, but looking at video, we'll set it to DNxHR. When I'm on a Mac, I like ProRes for a lot of reasons, but I'm not on a Mac, so I'm going to go with DNxHR. This is fine. I like to do 1920 by 1080 most of the time, and it's a little counterintuitive, but that's what typically, after doing this for 7 or 8 or 9 years, that's what I always export. That's what people are usually watching when they're watching on their TV. I know that's different for movies and different content out there, but I know when I'm on YouTube, I don't need a 4K playback. That being said, if the client wants it, the client gets it, but 1920 by 1080 allows for punching in when you're shooting in 4K. It allows for smaller file sizes. There's a lot of benefits of doing that. So moving on, I'm not going to select these. I don't need them. Constant bitrate is fine. And I'm going to set this to full. I already went through this once and I exported everything out as auto. And when you're doing ProRes exports, auto is perfect. For whatever reason, most softwares see auto and they know what you're trying to do here. But essentially, the difference between these data level options is pretty simple. Video levels do not show the full range of black to white. You're basically lifted up a little bit from black, so you don't get full black levels when you're exporting with data levels. And that's a TV standard. It's a broadcast standard. It's what a lot of web apps are playing back. They're using video levels. And when I'm exporting out in ProRes, I select auto because most softwares see that auto section there and they know what to do. But since I'm not doing that, I'm going to go full. And that's going to bring it into Premiere with the DNxHR codec, and it's not going to be confused about what we're trying to see. Color space tag, gamma tag, this is all set in my project settings, so these are fine. Everything else should be fine. I'm going to turn off audio, I don't need it. File, I'm going to just go with timeline name. I'm going to add that to the render queue. Now, going to Premiere XML, I'm going to start doing the same thing, and you'll see this bar turned yellow, and that means it's exporting individual clips. I'm going to do DNxHR, 1920 by 1080, full. I'm going to go to audio, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to go to file, and leave this as is. Add to render queue. And I'm going to select both and render all. And I did export this all before, setting the data levels to auto. So I'm just going to replace all those files. I'm going to go back into Premiere. And I am going to, I have this bin here, Film Columbus CC. CC again stands for color corrected. I'm going to go import, open. This is the full clip, no bells and whistles, just a single video clip. And I'm going to go to this folder again, import my XML. I'm going to drop this in to a new bin and call it XML-CC-V1. So if I'm using this just full clip here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in my sequence, and you can already tell it's different. This was my original edit, my initial grade here, and this is and this is my color corrected version. The Premiere XML is another option, and this is what we exported out of Resolve. It's essentially the same thing, but it is cut up here, and it has all of these settings that came into the Premiere project in the first place. So when I go through with the Premiere XML, I will always remove the Lumetri colors, and you'll notice a change. If there's a warp stabilizer or whatever, that's a really nice tool just to not have to redo all of those effects. So what I'm going to do is move this down. I'm going to disable it, and I'm going to bring in these clips and put them right here. And that should line up pretty much spot on. And it's sort of interesting taking a second look at this because, you know, I colored this, I think in 2018, shot and colored it. And you know, I did color it differently when I did it the first time around. So you do get a little bit of hindsight, and also you're not going to color everything the same way every time. I can even open that up and compare it. You can see already it's quite different. Of course, this has all the grain on top, so we'll remove that. So that was the original, and this is what I did now. They're pretty close. I think I just spent more time on the background. You guys can tell me if you like it better, what I did now versus what I did then. I'll turn the grain back on, and this is done.